Good morning, everybody. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Just going to have a little quick tip for you today. Just got done with breakfast, and I'm having 32 ounces of water to get started. Haven't been so good on my hydration lately, I'll be honest about that. I've been a bad boy. And a lot of that just happens to just be being busy and doing things, and then you realize, damn, I just didn't get enough water in today. So I've really got to pick up on that again. So gonna make sure I'm getting the water in. And the water will help you with the subject I'm about to talk about today also. I was eating breakfast just a little while ago. It's about 9 o'clock now. I had breakfast. I slept in a little bit. I don't know why. I was a little bit tired. Got up early yesterday, so I caught up a little bit. But when I roll out of bed in the morning, I need food. I'm ready for food, and I eat food. And I got to thinking about this. It doesn't, now the subject of this talk, it doesn't really affect me too much anymore. I don't get if I let myself get hungry, I'll still just eat another banana. But I do remember in the beginning, and I remember one of the biggest tricks that helped me to, not really even a trick, I just think for me it's the way I do. I always stay full. I don't let myself, I very rarely let myself get hungry. Now it's not so much of a danger to me now. If I do tend to get busy or whatever and I get hungry, I just tend to go grab a few more bananas anyway. But when you're not quite as strong in this lifestyle, or maybe even when you're transitioning, hunger can be danger. Because when you get hunger, your mind starts going to places, the cravings start coming up, and you have more of a tendency to binge, or you have more of a tendency to just slide away to those less than optimal type foods. I find if you'll keep yourself, you can stave a lot of those things off if you will just keep yourself from getting to that point of being really hungry. Now I know a lot of people disagree with that, and I used to disagree with that too, and I go back and forth sometime between, I go back and forth myself between eating when you're hungry, which if our brains were wired exactly correctly, but we've gone through a whole lifetime of you know, improper eating, most of us anyway. And I don't know, that's the only way I can put it. Our wiring's just not right. I think probably we were meant to eat like that, like our hunger, our true hunger, but we've gotten away. We don't really know what hunger is. We associate emotional eating with hunger, we associate emotions with hunger, and we think of things so much as hunger that aren't really true hunger. So I think we've kind of lost the ability to trust that inner mechanism of just being like, okay, you're hungry, eat a certain amount, eat till you're 80% full, eat your 100% full, and that's it. So I'm always eating. Now the only downfall with that for me, somebody that hasn't taken care of his teeth his whole life, is like I just really need to be more and more diligent about constantly rinsing my mouth and, you know, brushing, and even, you know, if I'm not brushing with a good natural toothpaste like I normally do, at least just brushing between meals with water. But that would be the only downside I see to snacking, or to constantly, I call it grazing. I graze a lot. I eat a good bit through the day, but I eat a good bit through the first half of the day. And then I feel like, and now that's something I can relay a little experience that you might be able to relate to. If I get enough I get most of my calories. I would say I probably get over 2/3 of my calories in before 11 a.m. Definitely before noon, because I start strong. I know that my day might get busy, and I know things come up, and I just know I usually have the first part of the day that I have plenty of time to eat. I have plenty of time to prepare the food that I need to eat, and that's just where I lay down my base of the day. Like, okay, just a few minutes ago I had banana ice cream first thing up in the morning, so I got about 10 bananas, 9 or 10 bananas in there, so I got 900, 1,000 calories in my belly already. Probably by 10 o'clock I'll have another. Now I won't be hungry. Like at 10 o'clock, like some people say, well, you got to constantly eat all the time when you're eating all this fruit, or when you're not eating, you know, the standard American diet. And it's not that I have to eat, it's just that I try to get those calories in the bank, because I know later on, you know, like most days are like that, but like just today specifically, you know, I'm working at home, kind of taking it easy through the morning, then around 1 or 2, I've got to get over to the office, I got a bunch of stuff I have to get done. I'm going to be on the beach until about 6, and then I have to get in the edit room where I'm working and do some stuff. So I know that I'm going to have a busy afternoon, and I know, like, come over in the certain part of the afternoon, I'll probably have something to munch on, but I won't be just eating, and I kind of need that time free from thinking about food. So I will load up throughout the day. I've got already 10 bananas in me this morning. By 11 o'clock, I'll probably have another minimum 6 or 7, 8 bananas, if not something else. And I don't have greens this morning. I'm out of greens. But, oh, and I've got mangoes. So yeah, I'll probably have another 6 or 7 bananas and about 3 or 4 mangoes by 11 o'clock noon for sure. And I will be good to go through the afternoon. Now, if I need to, I'll probably have a mid-afternoon snack. But if I need to, I could make it all the way from there until I even get home this evening at dinner, because I'm going to have somewhere, you know, probably the equivalent of 2,000, 2,300 calories in my stomach just by then. But since I like to keep my calories up, I'll have, you know, I'll have an afternoon snack. I'll get 4, 5, 6 bananas or some other type fruit, or the equivalent of 4 or 5 or 6 bananas, just to, you know, give myself a little afternoon energy, because that's the optimal. The optimal for me is just keeping your energy up at a certain level all the time without going over that edge. And I don't sit, you know, I'm not one of the crammers. I don't cram food in my mouth that's uncomfortable. But if you will start your days off strong and you will stay ahead of, it's all about, that's why, ergo the title, staying ahead of your hunger. Get up first thing in the morning. And this, I kind of wavered off into the reasons I do it, but I want to get back to how it can help people that are, you know, kind of beginners to this lifestyle, transitioning, whatever. And this is actually better to come first if you think about it. If you will get up first thing in the morning and drink yourself about 1 liter of water, about 32 ounces of water more or less, you know, let that get in a little bit, and then have yourself a nice big breakfast. Like I said, I just got in 10 bananas. If you can have whatever's a big breakfast for you, if you're new to it, you know, you may not sit and eat 10 bananas at one time. But the point being, start early. Drink that water. Eat a good, healthy, big breakfast to get something on your stomach. If you're not eating so many yet, so what? If you don't eat that many, maybe you'd eat the equivalent of 3 bananas or whatever you're eating for breakfast. But get it in first thing in the morning, and then a few hours later, before you even get hungry again, eat again. You know, have those healthy, I don't want to say snacks because we're eating them as meals, but have healthy food prepared. Have it around. Have your bananas ready. Have whatever fresh fruits you like to eat in the morning ready. You know, make your smoothies. But always be ahead of this hunger. Because the hunger, like if you're still dealing with the cravings, they're waiting. They're waiting. It's very hard to have a craving. And I would say it's probably not impossible, but the cravings for a particular food come when we're hungry. Now, once we become hungry, it gets particular. We have these particular cravings. But if we stay satiated, if we stay full, if we stay full, you know, well, if we do, I'm not saying we have to be full, but if we stay, if we have plenty of food inside of us, we're not going to those places of, oh God, I want that salty thing, I want that sweet thing. You're just full. You're just satiated. And if you don't get hungry, you won't have the cravings. I don't think I've ever had a craving when I've been full or satisfied. I don't know if that's possible. So if you can stay ahead of that hunger, if you're always, it's like the old saying, idle hands are the devil's workshops. Well, all of a sudden that stomach goes to a place too. As soon as it's empty and as soon as it's not, you know, doing something down there, it starts craving, it starts calling out for these foods. It starts telling you, you know, you want to eat this, you want to eat that. So stay full, or stay satisfied. That's a better word, stay satisfied. And it becomes easier and easier as you go along. you know, you don't, it's kind of like getting off, it's like the cigarettes. I always come back to the cigarettes, you know, like when you first quit smoking cigarettes, when you first quit eating certain types of food, the only thing on your mind is cigarettes, 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 bad food, eat a certain type of food, a less than optimal food. But as time goes on and you can just avoid these, you can do whatever little tricks, you know, you do whatever little tricks you need to do to keep you away from the cigarettes. If you have to keep snacks around, if you have to keep carrot sticks around, celery sticks around with the food, you do whatever tricks you have to do to keep you from eating those potato chips, to keep you from eating a pizza, to keep you from eating whatever it is bad that your body calls out for you to have. And you do that by keeping yourself well fed, by keeping yourself satiated. I guarantee you, if you here's just a little plan, and I'll get off the rambling of the day. Here's just a little plan. If you would get up in the morning, drink your water first thing, you know, maybe just give it half an hour to get in your stomach, or if you don't have time, you can go ahead and make your breakfast, but get a good sized breakfast in. You know, get those calories in on that very first meal of the day. Just kind of as a model of what I will do, you know, I bang it hard. I bang it hard on that first meal, and try to get in as many. Now, if I hadn't have made the ice cream and I'd have just made a smoothie where I don't get as many bananas, I would have probably had 2 smoothies this morning. But as it is, you know, I got in my 9-10 banana ice cream, so a few hours from now I'll have another 6 bananas, and I'll have some mangoes, and and then you've got something to cruise on. Once I get to about the middle of the day, then I'm kind of a lot more stable. I don't have to worry so much about the food, and I don't worry about the food anyway because I've got food. I know you guys don't have a lot of the options that I do. I don't have to worry about food all that much because I'm always close to food. Right now there's 2 stores within a 5-minute walk of me where if one doesn't, the other will probably have ripe bananas. Where I work, the little office where I go to work, there's a place like 2 minutes out the door where I can get fresh bananas, fresh mangoes, orange juice. That's my market that I've showed you before. So I always have stuff close to me. And I can even avert a crisis. Even if I just start getting a little bit hungry, boom, I go grab something. But if you, yep, I need to repeat that for the 995th time. Just start strong during the day and never let yourself get hungry. Never let yourself, you don't have to be just totally full, totally satiated all the time, but just don't let yourself get to the point of being hungry. And this is a trick you can learn. You just have to figure out for yourself how much you need to use this little trick. Some people have lots of cravings. If you have lots of cravings and you really have like what almost people call a food addiction, you might want to really play with this strong and just make sure you really start out strong in the morning and you keep eating intermittently, and you make sure that the hunger doesn't pop up, because when the hunger pops up, that temptation is going to pop up to eat that stuff that you don't want to eat, you don't need to eat. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll share it with your friends. Have a great day, and try to take a little break today, take a breath, and enjoy life a little. Peace.